what's going on, everybody? It's Sam from Warsaw Entertainment, and today we are talking about the typical length of a cruise contract for a performer who's going to work on a cruise ship. Before we get into the nitty gritty, if you will like and subscribe to the channel and the video, that would be helpful so that more performers and artists and musicians see this content, and if they're looking to work at sea, they can get this information ahead of time. So let's get into it. I get this question all the time. How long is a typical contract on a ship if I'm going to work on board as a performer? So the short answer is typically 4 to 6 months long. Now, there's a lot of variables, but overall, when you apply to work on a ship, you can expect that your contract, you're going to live on board for 4 to 6 months at a time. Now, living on board doesn't mean you're just stuck on the ship. Of course, you can get off in port and enjoy wherever you are in the world, but it does mean you're not going home, every 3 or 4 days. You are living on board that ship for the next 4 to 6 months. If you're in a production cast, or you're in, let's say, a rock band at Carnival, sometimes your contract might err on the side of 7 to 8 months because there's a rehearsal period at the very beginning. Where if you're a guy in a show band or a duo and you just go straight to the ship, the contract is a little bit shorter because there's no rehearsal period at the beginning. Now, I get questions sometimes about, hey, I hear, a band can just go out for 2 weeks at a time or something like that. Is that a possibility? Rarely is that a possibility. It's not impossible, but when it happens, it's usually a last minute situation because something happened, a whole band had to go home or something like that. Something unusual has happened, and so now there's a vacancy on the ship and the cruise line just has to fill it immediately till they can work out whatever the scenario is to fill that position. So, when that happens, yes, we might fly a band out for 2 weeks just to fill in, but that is not a normal situation. If you want to work on a ship, you can expect to work 4 to 6 months at a time. Now, just another thing to think about is cruise ships run 365 days a year, okay? It's not like they take a day off. You do a cruise and then that group of passengers gets off and the new group gets on. So this is a 7-day-a-week thing. So as a musician, you can expect to work 6 to 7 days a week. Most lines try to give a day off a cruise, but it's not guaranteed. And so, you gotta be ready to work. And I will say this about that. Initially, it can kind of be a shock to the system of like, wow, I'm playing every night. But I can tell you this, unlike any other gig, if you do 4 to 6 months on board and you perform almost every single night, when you leave, your chops are guaranteed the best they've ever been. It's kind of like forced. It's forcing you to get better. So there is benefit to that, and it does get you ready for, if you want to continue in your career, there might be times where you are rehearsing and performing a lot. And so it kind of gets you ready for that. In short, typical cruise contract, 4 to 6 months long, sometimes longer, sometimes shorter, but that's the typical range. So hope this video helped. Hope the information was clear for you, and now you don't have any more questions. Hey, if you're an artist, you're a musician, you're a vocalist, you're a performer, and you want to work on a cruise ship, visit our website, warshawentertainment.com. Go ahead, fill out the application. We review every application we get, and if you're a fit, you might be working on a ship sooner than later. Peace.